वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुर्मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सद्गुरु श्री गजानन महाराज की जय। जय गजानन। It gives me immense pleasure to be here to talk to all of you and share some of my experiences which me and my family have experienced, and also a couple of experiences of some of my dear friends, which are quite stunning and which will keep you spellbound. Some of these experiences border on the unbelievable. But let me tell you in all sincerity that all these experiences which I'm sharing with you, there is absolutely no iota of falsity. There is absolutely no exaggeration. One more thing I would like to share with you is that many a times when I'm sharing experience, I tend to get emotional. I tend to choke. So if such an event occurs, you will have to forgive me for that. The first experience I intend to narrate to you is with regard to my son. My son's name is Salil, and this story dates back to the year 2007-2008. Salil was in his second year doing his hotel management and catering technology degree from the Bombay University. And as a part of the curriculum, he was required to do a 3 to 4 month internship with a top hotel in Mumbai. He was selected by the Taj Group of hotels. And as you know, Taj Group has a wonderful image, a brand equity. And Salil was on the top of the world to have been doing the internship at Bombay's and India's leading hotel, the Taj Group. During the course of his internship, he developed many friends and got along very well with his seniors, some of them who went on to become mentors. And he was in regular touch with all of them. This was the year 2007. He was in the second year of his college. For the final year, he went back to college, and it was his earnest desire that after he completes his graduation, he has to land a job in the Taj Group once again, because he was so much in love with the Taj Group, the grandeur, the brand equity, the atmosphere, the camaraderie with his mentors, his colleagues, and some of his seniors also and some of his batchmates also got selected in the Taj Group. So he was very keen to join the Taj. As luck would have it, he got called for an interview in the month of July or August 2008. And early morning, he went with all high hopes and spent the whole day there giving some food trials, etc. And in the evening, he came back home extremely sad and disappointed. So when my wife and we asked him what happened, he said things did not go as per his wish. And the interviewer was in a foul mood for that day, and for whatever reasons, and he did not stand a chance and he did not get selected. None of the candidates who had appeared for the interview on that specific day, they were all rejected. And he was so down, he was so aghast, as if it was the end of the world for him. Both of us tried to reason with him that it's not the end of the world. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And if not Taj, there will be a better opportunity which Maharaj has decided for you. For 2-3 days, he was extremely disappointed. And, one can imagine that if you bank on something with a lot of hopes and aspirations and it doesn't happen, then, it can really sink you. That is exactly what happened with my son. November 26, 2008. I think this is one date which most Indians will never forget. It was a day when there was a terrorist attack on the Taj Group, Mumbai, in Buribandar. And those terrorists which entered the hotel from the rear side actually passed through the kitchen before making their way into the rest of the hotel. And while they were entering the hotel, from the kitchen side, they did indiscriminate firing, which resulted in several deaths. As you may be aware, totally 166 people were dead. And from the kitchen itself, there were a couple of chefs and kitchen staff which had met their end. Some of these people who lost their lives were known to my son Salil, with whom he had worked the previous year during this internship. And my son was extremely hurt and disappointed and dejected because he had lost some very good friends. Some of them were studying with him in college, some of them were his seniors, and some of them were his mentors. And after a couple of days, when he got over the whole issue, I sat with him and reasoned with him that, look, if you remember last year when you were dejected for not having got the job, I told you that Maharaj has a plan, a bigger plan, which we will not know at that point of time. If Salil was to have been picked up by the Taj group and he would have landed himself in the kitchen that particular night, who knows what fate had in destiny for him. So we were saved by Maharaj. Our son was saved. His life was saved. And that was something that I tried to tell my son, that look, we will not know what is Maharaj's game plan. We will only know about it after certain events have taken place. So don't get disappointed if something doesn't go according to your likes, according to your desires. Maharaj has a better plan for you. I will now share with you a second experience, which is concerning a close friend of mine, Jyoti Naik. Jyoti Naik lived in Nasik in the year 1991. He completed his engineering degree from the Shegaon Engineering College. And he was on the top of the world because he became an engineer. But the happiness soon turned into disappointment because for 6 long months, he was struggling to find a job for himself. December 1991 came and there was no sign of any employment, any call for interview. He applied in all the possible companies in the MIDC area in Nasik, but no calls came. On 20th of December 1991, Jyoti Naik's parents went for Tirtha Yatra to Ashtavinayak. Then on 21st, a friend of his came home rushing with a very somber face and told Jyoti, you have to come with me. There is something that I'm also not aware, but there is some emergency and you need to come with me. So without much ado, Jyoti and his friend rushed to a nearby hospital. But when they went to the nearby hospital, everything was very serious. The bus, the Ashtavinayak bus in which Jyoti Naik's parents had traveled was standing outside the hospital, and all those passengers were over there. So he couldn't understand what had gone wrong. Finally, when they entered the hospital and they reached the floor, Jyoti saw his mother sitting on the bench staring into space with tears in her eyes swollen, and she was not uttering a word. One of the co-passengers who had traveled with the family took Jyoti aside and said, I want to share with you a bad news. Just as we had finished Lenyadri Darshan, your father had a massive heart attack, and within seconds, he passed away. There was nothing that anything could be done. We tried to look for a nearby doctor. We tried to look for a nearby nursing home, but everything was too late. And so we decided to cancel this yatra, and we have all come back. It was as if a big colossal mountain collapsing on Jyoti Naik. To add to the woes, Jyoti was already struggling to find himself a job, And now here you are, the loss of a parent. Jyoti kept on praying, and ultimately, in the first week of January, Lady Luck smiled on him. He got a call for an interview at Siemens. Jyoti went and answered the interview, but one catastrophe struck once again, as if what had happened was not enough. On the return journey, Jyoti Naik lost all his documents, his birth certificate, his college certificates, his school leaving certificate, his mark sheets, anything that you require for applying for a job or for a passport or for that matter, anything, everything was lost. He was totally broken. He was totally shattered. So he went back and retraced the entire journey looking for those documents, but he could not find. For 2 full days, Jyoti was on the road searching for the documents. He just couldn't find it. Came back home totally dejected, totally disappointed, totally frustrated. His mother told him, have faith in Gajanan Maharaj. Have faith. Something good will happen. He will show us the way. Her faith in Maharaj stood both of them in very good state. She vowed to do 21 days Parayan. And on the 21st day, on the last day of the Parayan, she offered Naivedya to Maharaj. It was evening time. And there was a knock on the door. There was a postman. The postman said, "He bag tumchi ahe ka? Is this bag belonging to you?" So the mother took the bag and said, "Ho, ही आमची bag आहे. बघा त्याच्यात documents व्यवस्थित आहे का? Check if all the documents are in order." The son who was inside came out, took charge of the bag, looked at the documents. Both of them were shocked to receive the bag, absolutely intact, not a document lost. But the funniest part was, the most amazing part rather, I would say, was that there was no address in those documents. There was no address in the bag. And how did this gentleman, whoever came, the postman, know their address? So the mother asked him, "हे तुम्हाला कुठे सापडलं? आणि तुम्हाला आमचा पत्ता कोणी दिला?" He just smiled and said, "ते डॉक्युमेंट्स मध्ये शेगाव इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजचं नाव मी वाचलं. मी शेगावचा. म्हणून मला कळलं हे तुमचंच असणार. म्हणून मी तुम्हाला द्यायला आलो." They tried to invite him inside the house and offer him a cup of tea, but he refused. The mother tried to offer him some money as mandhan, but he refused and said, "तुम्ही आमच्या गजानन महाराजांचे भक्त, मी शेगावचा. मी कसं काय तुमच्याकडनं घेणार?" And he just turned and went away. Both Jyoti and his mother were just stunned. Who could this man be? Just think, just look back. Who could this man be? Miracles do happen. Maharaj does live even today. Can there be a bigger truth than this? This is the greatness of our Mauli.